Ethan takes an Uber after a tiring day. The city is strangely empty and colder than usual, with an unsettling feeling in the air. Something about the night feels different, but he doesn't know what. When the car arrives, Ethan doesn't have much time to see the driver clearly. He only sees his silhouette and notices he looks too serious, making Ethan think maybe he's just tired too. The trip starts without incident, but as they leave the city center, something feels off. The streets are empty, and there is only silence. The driver, with a deep voice, asks if Ethan lives around there. Ethan, uncomfortable, looks at him through the rearview mirror and finally sees the driver, Mark, a tall, impassive man. Something about his gaze makes Ethan uneasy, as if he is waiting for something. The feeling of discomfort grows. Ethan notices they are going down a street he knows well, but it's not the right direction. The GPS isn't updating, and when he looks out the window, the surroundings grow darker. The city lights are going out, and everything around them is getting darker, as if they are being taken to a place where time doesn't exist. The driver asks if everything is okay, but Ethan, trying to hide his concern, replies that the street seems strange. Mark makes a low sound and keeps driving, his eyes fixed on the road. Ethan begins to wonder if this driver is different from the others. Something about his behavior feels off. The car stops abruptly and Ethan jerks forward in his seat. His heart skips a beat. "What was that?" he asks, more to himself than to the driver. He looks around, but everything is dark. No lights, no sign of life. Just an empty, silent street. Mark doesn't respond. Ethan looks at him through the rearview mirror and sees his eyes fixed on him with a penetrating, almost hypnotic gaze. Ethan feels as if Mark knows something he doesn't. Ethan, visibly shaken, asks the driver his name. Mark responds calmly, saying his name. The name, Mark, sends a chill down Ethan's spine, like he's heard it before but can't place where. Ethan starts to feel more uncomfortable. The silence inside the car is almost oppressive, and he can't ignore the feeling that something is wrong. With each passing kilometer, the surroundings become more distorted. The city that should be familiar now feels unrecognizable. The streets are empty, but he notices something strange. Houses and stores seem to be in some kind of transition, as if they are being erased or replaced by something unreal. Ethan realizes he's been diverted from the route. His face shows growing fear as the car continues on an unfamiliar path. He feels frozen, paralyzed by an invisible force, unable to ask the driver to stop, even though he knows something is wrong. Ethan tries to act but feels helpless. With every turn, he gets further from home, but he can't change the course of the journey. Mark remains calm, which only amplifies Ethan's sense of powerlessness. He wants to scream, ask the driver to stop, but his voice is trapped. Ethan looks at the rearview mirror again, seeing Mark's impassive face. The city around him no longer feels real, and he starts to doubt his own perception. With each new detour, the sensation of time distorting grows. He feels trapped in a journey that doesn't make sense, and deep down, he knows something much bigger is happening. The empty road stretches before them. Ethan's face is gripped by terror, his hands tight on the seat as he feels trapped in an endless nightmare. The city outside vanishes, and he realizes he's no longer in the real world, but caught in something much darker. Each turn, each detour, takes him further from what he once knew. Suddenly, the car slows down, and Ethan sees a dark figure standing motionless in the road. The figure feels unnatural, its form indistinct, but filled with an unsettling presence. Ethan's face shows shock and fear, And although he tries to scream, no sound comes out. The air around him becomes heavy. Mark doesn't react. The car stays still as the figure approaches slowly. Ethan is frozen, watching the figure grow closer. The air feels suffocating, and the presence of the figure becomes overwhelming, as though something terrible is about to happen. The figure is now right next to the car, its form shifting and distorting, becoming more humanoid, but still wrong. Ethan's face twists in terror as the figure grows larger. The air becomes thick, as if something is about to crush the car. The tension is unbearable. The car is completely still, just a few meters away from the figure. The passenger's heart races, his face pale with fear. Mark remains unmoved, his eyes fixed ahead. Ethan realizes there's no way out. He's trapped in something far beyond his understanding, with nowhere to run. The figure is now beside the car, suffocatingly close. Ethan, paralyzed with fear, can't move. The pressure builds with each passing second. Finally, the figure speaks, its voice low and hoarse. "You'll never leave." A chill runs down Ethan's spine as the tension escalates, and he realizes that nothing can stop what's coming. With one last look at Mark, Ethan realizes the truth. Mark is not just a driver. He's being led to something far darker, something with no escape. Ethan tries to open the door in desperation, but it's locked. The air becomes suffocating, and the figure closes in. Everything around him begins to dissolve. Silence surrounds everything. Ethan can hear nothing, not even his own heartbeat. He's outside of time, outside of place. The last thing he hears is Mark's voice echoing in his mind. "You'll never leave here, Ethan." As everything fades into darkness, Ethan wakes up back in his house, but something is wrong. The air feels heavier, the silence oppressive. The feeling of being watched doesn't leave him. He looks in the mirror and sees something he hadn't noticed before. A different reflection. Mark, now in his house. He realizes the nightmare never ended. Mark is now a part of his life, and the journey never truly stopped.